Hey guys, so I know it's been a couple weeks since I've done this video, and I finally, I guess, gained enough energy and, I don't know, motivation to make myself decently presentable and make a video for you guys. So I guess I can go ahead and say that I'm in my third trimester. Tomorrow I'll be 28 weeks, so technically 27.6 today. So I know it's been a very long time. I'm going to try to make this short and sweet. But basically we've had a lot going on. We've been just getting ready for the baby, basically. We've painted her, we painted her nursery. We have been buying lots of little things. We have her bassinet and her... We have, the majority of things. We made a changing table from an old desk that we had, an antique desk. We made a changing table out of that. We painted it, and I put fabric around the edge to make it like pretty and stuff. I prepped all my cloth diapers, so they're all ready to go. And we've really just been like doing things around the house that need to be done. Yesterday they started, my husband and my family started with the carpet, replacing the carpet in the entire house. They did Veda's room yesterday, so that looks really good. And then we're doing the front room today, and then we still have the bedroom to do. So quite a bit to do in terms of like hard work. We also ordered her car seat this weekend, so we're getting close. Definitely getting very, very close. I've gotten huge. If you don't follow me on Instagram, then you haven't seen all of this, but for those of you who have seen me on Instagram, you know what I look like. I will show you guys at the end of this video how big I've gotten. But she is very active as always, and she is getting a lot stronger. Her kicks are turning into like rolls and punches, and she hits my ribs, and she kicks my hips, and she kicks my back, and I'm getting more and more uncomfortable. Sleeping is getting really hard. Everything is just getting really hard. I can still pretty much do everything. My belly hasn't restricted my movement somehow. I don't know if it's because I've always been really flexible since I used to be a gymnast when I was younger, or if my belly looks pretty big, so I don't really get where that comes from. Like, it's not that my belly's small, but I'm still able to like shave my legs, and I can still see my feet, and I can still put my shoes on. The shoes are a little bit harder. I can't like bend straight over to do it. I kind of got to bend my leg a certain way, but I can still do it. So all those things that you hear about, I can still do it, but I'm not sure if that's true for everybody. Let's see what else I got going on. I don't really have a lot that's changed. I did go to labor and delivery again after my last appointment, so I don't know if I talked about it or not, but I had my appointment, and they had asked me like if she was moving, and I was like, yeah, no, she moves just fine. She has like quiet days, like maybe like 2 days in a row. Like it's not that she stops moving, but she decreases in movement. And I just kind of like called them like her growth spurts, because she's not stopping, but it just kind of seems like she's resting, and it's normally after like I've been super busy, so I haven't been worried about it. Like, normally what I'll do is I'll like drink cold water, or I'll drink something sugary, and I'll lay down, and she'll kick me a couple times, and then if I get super worried, I have a Doppler that I listen to her heartbeat on, and I can listen to her like moving and stuff, so I'm not super worried about it. So I haven't went and seen anything, but my OB was really upset that I like hadn't like came in when there. She's like, I don't want you waiting that long. Like, if you notice a decrease in activity, you need to come in and get checked. And the thing is that she's so active. She's like, well, I'm doing kick counts when I do that, and she's like, you want to get 10 kicks in an hour. And I'm like, well, I'm used to getting, like, I don't know, like, I'll get 10 kicks in, like, 15 minutes, like, if that. Sometimes it's just, like, so quick, like, she's, like, constantly moving. So for me, 10 kicks in an hour is decreased movement. So, like, I told her, I was like, well, 10 kicks an hour, I've never not been able to do that, but it's just decreased. And she's like, well, still, we want you to come in. So later that day, I was leaving my appointment, and I hadn't felt her all day, and she was kind of concerned, and she's like, well, we can put you on the belt and blah, 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 like the kick counter belt that they put on the Toco belt that they put to monitor movement when you're in, like, labor and delivery. And I was like, no, it's okay, I'll give her time. Well, I, like, left, and I ate, and I still hadn't felt her move, and move much. I think she's kicked a couple of times. It's like, well, I guess I'll go back and just get it done and over with, you know, just to make sure, because otherwise I'm going to worry about it now. So I went back to my OB, and I was like, hey, you know, like, I'm just going to go ahead and do that belt. Like, can we just get me in real quick to do it? And they're like, yeah. So they put me back there, and they're like, well, we have people waiting for it, so you're going to have to go to the hospital to do it. And I'm like, oh, this is not what I wanted to do. So I had to go to the hospital, the labor and delivery, and they set me up with the belt and the contraction monitor. And she hated that monitor. She immediately started kicking. They had me do it for 30 minutes, and they wanted to see how many kicks they could get. I got over 200. She was consistently moving and kicking. Like, she hated it. They had to keep moving the belt around to find her heartbeat. Like, she was just all over the place. She's just so active. So, and I felt so bad. I felt like I was torturing her, because they would move it, and they'd get her heartbeat, and then she would move, like, immediately, and then they'd move it again to find her, and they thought it was, like, funny, but for me, like, I just felt, like, bad, because it was obvious that she didn't like it. So, anyway, I probably won't ever do that again. It was horrible. I felt really bad, but, I mean, she was fine, so I try not to worry about it. Other than that, I haven't really done anything. I've been really tired. I had my blood drawn for our yearly insurance. Every year our insurance does a blood panel to make sure that, like, we're within wellness guidelines, or they charge us more. It's ridiculous, I know, but so I got my blood drawn for that, even though I was pregnant, and I told them that my levels are going to be off. They're like, no, let's go ahead and do it. So I did it, and my triglycerides were high, my LDL was high, my HDL was high, and then my iron was low, or like, it was actually, my hemoglobin was low, my hematocrit was low, like, everything was low. But my cholesterol was high, and my doctor was concerned. So I went, and my OB was like, oh, those are normal levels for pregnancy, but you should probably take some iron. So I tried taking some iron, and it made me really sick, even with eating. So they're like, you're not low enough to need supplements. So I was like, oh, okay, I'll just eat more iron-rich foods. So it's kind of where I've been at. I've still been tired, but it's, you know, it's not horrible. So, and then they checked... let's see, it was my last appointment. I had, I'm trying to think, because I made an extra appointment to come in, and I can't remember why now. Let me think. Okay, that's right. I made another appointment I think it was last week. It was like 27 weeks, like the beginning of my 27th week, or somewhere in there, because I was so tired. And I had told people that my hemoglobin levels were at, like, a 10.2, and there was a lady who was like, well, mine were at 10.6, and they sent me to get, like, blood transfusions. Like, it was, like, a big deal. And I was like, well, they weren't even concerned with mine, so I made an appointment to talk to them about it, because I was like, okay, look, I'm really tired. Is there something I can do? And they told me, like, those aren't levels that they consider too, like, low, and, you know, they're not really concerned unless it's, like, under a 10, or, like, you know, I don't know. I was like, okay, whatever. So I dropped it, and that's how I ended up in labor and delivery. It was that appointment. So my next appointment is Wednesday. So my next appointment is Wednesday, September 7th. I think that's the Wednesday. I will be 28 weeks, and I will be doing the glucose test. Not excited about it. It has nothing to do with the blood draw. It has nothing to do with failing or passing. It is strictly the fact that I know that people get, like, kind of dizzy and stuff after they consume the drink. they get kind of like dizzy and nauseous and they crash because of so much sugar. And I am scared of that. I'm scared of the side effect that I'm going to feel from the drink. That's literally all that I'm scared of. I just don't like putting chemicals and things into my body, and but I know it's important to be tested for this. It's very important, especially with me being tired and stuff. They said it could be gestational diabetes, so it's important that I get checked. So I'm doing that Monday. They're also going to recheck my iron levels for some reason. So there's that, I guess, to make sure they're not dropping. But I think that's pretty much it. I will definitely update you guys on my glucose tests, like how it went and if I passed or I failed. So probably either the end of this upcoming week or this weekend, I will make sure to make a video after that, because I know that that's like a big test, and it's important to kind of document and about what's going on. I know a lot of people have questions about it and whatever, so that's that. So I have that coming up, and I'm excited to see her again. They were going to do my 3D, 4D ultrasound, you know, where you get like the really good pictures of the baby. At 32 weeks is when they wanted to do it. And I've heard some people say it's too late, that the baby looks squished. But my great-grandma, I think she's my great or my great-great-grandma, I don't know, she's like 96, I think. She's kind of declining in health wise, so I really kind of want to bring her to that appointment as soon as possible before she's unable to get out of the house or something happens, God forbid. So so I think that I'm going to try to get them to do it at 30 weeks, because 28 weeks is when I'm going to be starting my every 2-week appointment, and then at 36 weeks I think I go in weekly. So from here on out, I'll be going every 2 weeks. So I'm hoping at my 30-week appointment we can just go ahead and do that ultrasound, and I can bring my grandma with me so she can see the baby. So that's what's coming up. That's what's happened. I'm going to quickly show you guys my belly, and then I'm going to head out of here and get everything done. So so this is how big I've gotten. It looks pretty big in my opinion, but that would be my belly, guys. So I'm getting pretty big, and I weigh 134 now, so I'm definitely getting there. I can't wait to meet our little girl, and I'll keep you guys updated next weekend. Thanks, guys, for hanging in there, and I will talk to you later.